Hi YouTube. Oh, I was just getting on to say hello again. Um I don't know. I had a lot to say and then I lost it for a moment. Just give me a minute. Yeah, I am tired. I had a horrible night last night. I ate fish and a salad, but I'm allergic to fish, but I don't have it often, but yeah, so I had sort of a rough night trying to sleep. That doesn't help. So yeah, you'd think it would be healthy, but it isn't for me. So, mm, anyway, um, for the ones that don't have no soul, um, when you are born in the hospital, they take a print of the sole of your feet and they literally think with their lesser magic, is what they call it, like their spelling, but they literally think Satan literally thinks he contracted your child's soul by printing it from the sole of their feet. And so like you're already owned and bound and like earrings to listen, um Lord of the Rings, Saturn, and rings like in wedding, but that binds you, but that's women were given earrings so they would listen. So I just like give that stuff back. I do. So or I give it away. So I listen to God. Let's see. Oh, and the Nazis wore black for a reason, to pay their allegiance. Um, their symbol is the symbol of the skull and bones. That's what that is. Um, oh, and that comes from paganism, Satan worship, Saturn worship. The Saturn worshippers, the Satanists, have a tendency to wear black with their lesser magic. They think they can hide behind that and get the light from Lucifer in their darkness to be guided by that. And oh, let's see what else. Well, yeah, examples of their lesser magic is all over. Like I was talking about the money, being notes and then bills and let's see, there's something else with that too. I was thinking. Um and a lot of you know some of this, a lot of you know all of this, just talking. Like the Sumerian tablets about the Anunnaki and Inky and Loki and Enlil and all them, you know. Um, oh, I don't know. I'll just sit here for a second. I'll light my cigarette and um, hope everybody's doing okay. Like I said, it could be a little better, but yeah, tomorrow should be. Every day should be, but yeah. Uh, I think that people actually do think there's aliens in a different life form and everything, but it is the mindset that makes the person, no matter what they are. That's my belief. And we are the aliens. This is God's world. He put us here. So we're actually of this world, but not of this world. That's how I see it. Because there's two different ways of living that makes the blood different physically. Oh yeah, back to their lesser magic with their spelling and their symbols and um, the belief that just because they say a spell that it's going to work, or how Satan will make something like that come into volition for them to trick them in that way, because they literally do not have that power. So they believe by rituals, if you do something ritually, that it will make it so. Like maybe if, here's an example, a silly example maybe, but if I kept trying to dye my dog purple and just hope that someday she would just start growing purple hair, that's about as silly as their rituals are and their spells. So literally, if you don't believe anything can touch you, nothing can touch you. But they believe it can, and they force that. Well, they're going to find out different. It's amazing, and everybody will see this. This is what's so amazing. God watched everybody play their games forever, thinking that they were hiding. How do you hide from somebody that's in you? I'm looking here, and God sees me looking at myself through my own eyes. Everything we do, but yet they think they hide. It's like, that's why they can't look in the mirror. Not really. They see those soulless eyes, you know? Oh, the word Abba wasn't even introduced into the Quran until, and it was said that Satan had them write things in the New Testament. It's not in the Old Testament. It wasn't. But then with this uh, fictitious Baphomet worship, um, trying to okay, and the Jews did this, um, Muslims, and to forgive their own homosexuality is what it came about and why it came about. And I found some information on it, but I'm going to find more, and then I'll give you the where I got that information. I know it's out there. God told me just keep going, and I'll keep going. So even in some of the dictionaries and Wikipedia, when I was looking up the reference of Satan and Abba being the same, um, even Wikipedia had it crossed out, and a couple other dictionaries, or they just refer to as Father. Well, yeah, that's who Satan, this Father is Satan, So, oh, had a little bit of sunshine today more than yesterday. It was sort of gloomy. So, I don't know what's coming up, what kind of weather or anything. So, didn't bother to look just when I go outside. So, yeah. Got over by my hay for my horse. There's a great big fat cottontail bunny. He's living underneath the hay, he or she. It it's huge, and because it's living right in its food. So we're gonna move those bales last, so hopefully it'll be closer to spring. And she hasn't been eating as much as usual. True reason, she's getting older, and the winter has been easier. It hasn't been as cold as usual on an ongoing basis, like 50 below and that type of thing. So we haven't had really any of that. Not much. Maybe with the wind chill, but 1 or 2 days. So not nothing really horrible. So that bunny is so happy. And then I give my horse feed in the morning and at night too, because she is older. So she doesn't have to chew as much hay. Grains are easier to get in her for quick energy, so she'll live longer just because I spoil her more. And I've gotten her stuff like horsey vitamins and, you know, different things. So she's always getting treats every day. She has to have some kind of treat. Because when you're out there by yourself, too, that's a bummer, you know. But she is able to walk right up to my back door. So, yeah, I got her gate open. Some of our delivery people, they know her. They'll stop and give her, like one guy was giving her like 3 apples, and he told Doug, I gave your horse 3 apples. I said, ooh, well, see, that's an awful lot of sugar even for a horse. 1 apple is kind of, and if I give her an apple, I'll give her like 1 apple and 2 carrots. Carrots are sweet too, but not as bad at the same time. So, and then in in the fall, we have an apple tree, and she'll go over and eat some of it. But they're crab apples; they're not as sweet. So I had a pear tree and 3 apple trees in my backyard, and they got some kind of blight, worms, whatever, and bit the dust. Well, my pear tree, something literally, it could have been tunneled all the way around there, but we had a woodchuck in the yard, and it was huge. I named him Chucky. I had some photos of it, but I don't know if I still do. But anyway, he was really cool, big animal, and he tunneled right up by my pear tree's roots, and eventually it did die. So I'm thinking the whole orchard where I had my fruit, but I have, like I say, well, I've got more than a few crabapple trees and choke cherries and hazelnuts and a lot of raspberries, wild strawberries, a lot of stuff in the yard and around. Like watercress down in the creek, and um, edible wild stuff like cattail roots and Jerusalem artichokes and fern fronds. They're the round part on a fern when they're still round like that. They taste like Brussels sprouts. I haven't had them, but I know they're edible, and there's a ton of them around here. So that's cool. And of course, mushrooms, but I can't have them. I used to eat a lot of mushrooms. I loved them, but I just can't deal with them now. We do have, I don't know if you know what a sumac bush is, but in southern Minnesota, or even towards more of the middle of it, they have kind of littler ones. Even more west, they're sort of little. But here around Pine City, they have like groves of sumac bushes that are like 15 feet, 20 feet tall. I've never seen anything like it before till I moved up here. So, well, Doug's coming in. I'm gonna shut this down. I'm taping, but I'm gonna shut off. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.